Every year on her birthday, the father personally takes intimate photos of his daughter. When Annie was young, she never thought there was anything wrong with it. Annie's mother didn't care about her husband's behavior towards their daughter, so when Annie was a child, she only felt that her father loved her very much. However, what confused her was that whenever the servants around her showed excessive affection, they would disappear without a trace. Even the little cats and dogs that appeared around Annie would be dealt with by her father. Whether at home or at school, Annie was always under the surveillance of her father and his subordinates. As Annie grew older, she began to realize that her father's control over her was abnormal. By the time she was in high school, she had no friends. But one day, a girl appeared and became her only friend. However, the way Annie interacted with her family made her realize the pathological nature of her own household. She gathered the courage to tell her friend about her experiences. Her friend clearly told her that her father's actions were wrong and encouraged Annie to resist her father bravely. Annie returned home and mustered the courage to defy her father. But soon, her father punished both Annie and her friend. Her friend's father was fired from his company, which led to tension between her friend's parents. Her friend believed that Annie had betrayed her by informing her father, causing the tragedy in her family. Thus, her friend cut ties with Annie. In this way, her father drove away Annie's only friend. To assert his control once again, her father, without regard for Annie's feelings, demanded that she face the camera without any reservations. Not wanting to bring misfortune to others, Annie had no choice but to comply with her father's arrangements. But Annie could no longer suppress the emotions within her. She went to an abandoned well in the wilderness and shouted her dissatisfaction loudly into the empty space. What she didn't expect was that a boy was in the nearby abandoned building, listening to all her secrets.